Hey guys, Joel's coming at you with another reasoning sesh where I challenge the status quo of the wisdom of the world and the church by diving deep into the ancient scriptures and applying them practically to situations in our present day. And today I'm going to be addressing the issue of fasting.
Come now and let us reason together. Come now, we can talk it over.
But before I begin, I gotta say that if you like these videos, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you've seen more than a couple of my videos, that's Providence telling you to hit that subscribe button, because honestly, this message is not dying. The fire is being kindled and only igniting the momentum forward as we accelerate into a new era of uncovering the corruption and manifesting, literally, the kingdom of heaven on earth. But with that out of the way, I'm going to jump right into today's text, reading from the oracles of Isha once again. And in the 58th chapter, he brings up the topic of fasting. And you know, the definition that we have of fasting, even the ancient Hebrew definition, is to not eat. And by sacrificing that thing which not only feeds the body or the flesh mentality, we're also not being occupied by all those other things we're doing to prepare meals and all that other stuff. And that time is better spent tuning in and tapping in with Source and downloading these higher dimensional concepts. Because see, we can spend our time in positive thinking and, trying to realize better potentials. But the truth is we can't really see anything beyond where we have been. We need an outside source to actually bring to life these new potentials in us. And that's what fasting is. That's what tapping into the divine source is. And that's what that all facilitates. But that's a very mundane level. And of course, you can do that as an outward appearance, but inside you're just hangry. And that doesn't serve to make anybody a better person. So Isha relays the message from Source, and he says, "Wherefore have we fasted, and you see not?" These are the people talking to God. "Wherefore have we afflicted our soul, and you take no knowledge? Behold, in the day of your fast you find pleasure, and exact all your labors." So while you're not eating, you're doing all these other things that are still physical, they're still mundane, and they're still feeding that duality paradigm. "Behold, you fast for strife and debate, and to smite with the fist of wickedness. You shall not fast as you do this day, to make your voice to be heard on high." So people are fasting, and they're coming before Source in supplication, and they're saying, why am I not able to get any answers from the transcendence? Why are things still the same old, same old? Why can't I break through the physical circumstances I'm dealing with here? But Source replies and says, "Is it such a fast that I have chosen, a day for a man to afflict his soul? Is it to bow down his head as a bulrush, and to spread sackcloth and ashes under him? Will you call this a fast and an acceptable day to Yahweh?" So is that the point of fasting? Just to be all depressed and ho-hum and leave me alone, I'm holier than thou kind of mentality? No, Source goes on to say, "Is not this the fast that I have chosen, to loose the bands of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens, and to let the oppressed go free, and that you break every yoke?" So of course, that's the breakthrough that we're trying to grab a hold of when we fast. But how is that practically applied into the physical methods of denying ourselves to eat? He says, "Is it not to deal your bread to the hungry, and that you bring the poor that are cast out of your house, when you see the naked, that you cover him, and that you hide not yourself from your own flesh?" So he's saying, give the food that you're preparing for yourself to the hungry. If you're going to go walk around in sackcloth and ashes, give your clothes to the people who don't have clothes. Give shelter to the people that don't have shelter. Literally, sow those seeds of doing unto others as you would have it done unto you. That's the real breakthrough, is when we sow for a harvest that we want, when we actually wish well on other people, seeing that they have the things or they're getting the things that we want for ourselves. Praying for other people, giving blessings and peace to other people. All that kind of stuff fuels that harvest that will be coming unto us. And literally, the universe is infinite and can mete out all of this abundance to everybody. There's no shortage. Just because someone else gets what you want, the same thing's waiting for you too. You just have to be in line to be receiving that harvest. Because once you do that, check it out. He says, "Then shall your light break forth as the morning, and your health shall spring forth speedily." So we're not just talking physical abundance or wealth or possessions here. He's talking about your health. That's not just in your body, but also in your soul. and your righteousness shall go before you. The glory of Yahweh shall be your rearward. Then shall you call, and Yahweh shall answer. You shall cry, and he shall say, Here I am. If you take away from the midst of you the yoke, the putting forth of the finger, and speaking vanity, and if you draw out your soul to the hungry, and satisfy the afflicted soul, then shall your light rise in obscurity, and your darkness be as the noonday. So even the darkness that you're experiencing will be like walking through the brightest time of the day. And Yahweh shall guide you continually and satisfy your soul in drought and make fat your bones. And you shall be like a watered garden and like a spring of water whose waters fail not. How much would you like to walk in an oasis where you're just overgrown with flowers and herbs and all kinds of greenery? You know, it definitely beats walking around in a desert with a rag over your head, trying to keep cool from the desert sun, parched and dry, you know, just hangry. That's what happens when a lot of times we fast without really getting in line and doing it for the right reasons. Of course, we want to have a breakthrough, but we're not really sowing the seeds right. And actually, we can literally be cutting our own legs out from under us by getting into those states of conflict and really not reaping a harvest that we ever wanted in the first place. So if you are fasting, do it right and make sure you're sowing those seeds to give to others that which you want to receive yourself. And then we really tap into some power and actually manifest answers and breakthroughs and seriously those 180s that fasting can afford us, but we just have to tap into that right state of mind to actually receive those kind of downloads from Source. So with that being said, I'm going to sign out here. If you stuck through the video this long, it just means that you're open to receiving these kinds of downloads and you're already on the right track. You just have to hone that connection with Source in your own heart and let Source guide you, because our egos can't even see like 10 seconds ahead. We can project and we can assume, but really Source knows all things and how to line things up perfectly. So tap into that infinite potential and you'll literally download that infinite potential into your own life, and then you'll be able to relay it into the world, into the lives of others, and slowly start to see this new worth coming to fruition before your very eyes. I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. Stay optimistic and stay plugged in. Joel signing out once again. Agape. Salaam. Namaste. Shalom. Jump right into today's text. Into today's text.